We've had a lovely spell of warm weather in the last few weeks, and it's about time to start sowing seed outside. If you're strapped for space indoors, you don't really have much space to propagate yourself, then sowing straight into the ground is a really easy way around it. And they're quite low maintenance, and unless it hasn't rained for a long time, then you don't have to water. So I'm going to sow several different plants in all of my gardens today. Here I've got 3 comparison plots which have been used for doing trials since 1997 on different soil treatments. Last year we grew potato pink fir apple, and this bed here was the most successful with 19.7 kilograms harvested, and that was because it had leaf mould applied every autumn. I'm going to sow carrots instead this year, and I'm really interested to see the result with a different vegetable. I'm going to sow carrot resistor fly in drills. I'm going to use string and sticks to make a really neat line that I can follow. The beds here have already been prepared by raking over, and any weeds have been removed. You just make a groove in the soil, not too deep, and scatter the seeds evenly along it. The next step is to lightly cover the drill with soil from the surroundings with a rake. Remember to water them in, which will help start germination. I'm going to sow a few more rows along here, and I'll do the same amount of rows on each of the other 2 beds. And then tomorrow I'll be sowing agricultural lupins on the green manures display beds. So you use the same method for agricultural lupins, but because the seed is slightly larger, they have to be in a deeper drill and then spaced apart about 15 centimetres. Lupins fix a huge amount of nitrogen, supposedly 28% more than peas and beans, and you can sow them from March to July. Their flowers are beautiful, but if you're growing them as a green manure, it's best to dig them in before they flower. I've sown 3 rows of agricultural lupins, and next I'll be sowing caraway in the cook's garden. This is going to be an annual herb bed, and I'll be sowing the caraway near to the centre because it gets to about 60 centimetres tall. Also, like lupins, it has to be sown in deep drills and about 15 centimetres apart. Caraway is a medicinal herb thought to aid digestion, and it's cultivated for its aromatic seeds that can be cooked with foods that aren't easy to digest. I also want to show you how to broadcast seed, and I've got some vetch to sow on one of the green manure beds. The beds have to be well prepared with any large stones or weeds removed, and they also have to be ideally flat so that you get even germination. It's quite simple. You basically just rake over the soil to remove any capping, and that allows the seed to reach the soil easily. You broadcast evenly over the bed and rake back over to lightly cover. The final stage is to water using a rose or lance so that you don't end up with massive puddles. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but let's keep our fingers crossed for some wet weather now. Hopefully they'll have germinated by the time I do my next video. See you later.